Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
That is just about always followed by 1.
Most of the time, that's followed by
woohoo! America, the long week is over. We are back, and you're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
I thought you froze up.
I didn't freeze.
Oh, I'm supposed to say that? No, I don't say that.
What do I say? I say, and this is, and then you say Dave and Juan more time. Man,
no,
it's been
you say Dave and Juan, and then I say more time.
Yeah, all right, let's go try that again.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
It's been a long. I can't believe I forgot. Well,
that's only been 150 something times, man. Why would you get that wrong?
But I'm all discombobulated. I'm in a hotel
room.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a fancy headboard back there, man.
Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't make the bed. So, oh yeah, look at that, man. You see that behind me? I'm looking at. If I look out, well, I got the big shades open, but still
it's nice lighting.
There you go. So I'm looking at Mobile Bay. I'm staring out at Mobile Bay right now. I'm in Point Clear, Alabama. Every time I say Alabama, my family wants to do the Forrest Gump. Alabama. The Grand Hotel, the lovely Grand Hotel.
Now, so if you're looking at Mobile Bay, where's Point Clear?
It's down on it's on the other side.
South
it's on
side or?
Yeah. And it's on it's east. So it's
okay.
You don't normally, when you do I-10, you don't come really near this place, but I've been here a couple of times, at least one time before, but nice time, nice setup. Like I said, we're not coming to you. Well, you're on the ATT fiber optic setup. I'm on the free Wi-Fi at Point Clear. So we'll see how this goes today. But nice time. They got me in what I am affectionately calling the Getty Lee Suite. It's room 2112. I can say that now because by the time this is out, people,
right, then you're not going to have people crash in the room.
That's right. They won't be coming here. But
never been a big Rush fan.
I remember you blasphemed like that before. I'm a fan. I'm not as it comes in different levels, right? You got some folks who were just, oh my gosh, sunsets and rises and sets are all right. But I'm a moderate fan.
Well, I like everybody else. I like Tom Sawyer, but mine was pretty much because it was Kerry Von Erich's walkout song.
As we all did. Those was back in the days before you could just pull up any song in the world anytime you wanted, right? And I didn't have until later. I think I may have gotten a cassette that had Tom Sawyer on it, or I may have. But man, to their credit, is there it's, I don't know if it's the best ever, but it's a top 10 first 5 seconds of a song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then especially with the Kerry Von Erich stuff that came from that. But yeah, good time. I was also kind of laughing at myself as I was getting things set up here, put the earbuds in, see what the mic is. You have to let me know if you can hear things. I think I'm going.
I can hear you. Sound good.
Okay. I got so much actual work to do. I mean, I got stuff that needs to be written. I got people I got to follow up. So I got all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, no, I got a podcast I got to do today with my man, Juan. Dude, I left a while ago, a luncheon. Now, granted, it actually gave me a good excuse because I spoke this morning really well, great contacts after. And this is this event here it's a banking event for young bankers, and they bring their families. So you've got, I don't know, 150, 175 bankers plus their families. And it's young family. It's hysterical, man. I mean, it's like I feel good. I'm becoming the old guy.
Is that
You
why
just
it's on the
look.
weekend? Because you don't do a lot of weekend stuff.
No, I think a little bit of that, yeah, but that's a good. Yeah, my wife is the same way. My wife's saying, "You speaking on a Sunday?" I said, "Well, priests speak on Sunday. I guess I can
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a lot of fun. You got young families out here, and I mean babies. In fact, before I went on today, so I'm walking around, looking at the room. It's a pretty big room, and the lady who's sort of the coordinator of things, she's funny. You know, we start talking family, and we I've done some stuff with them before, so she's a friend, so we chat. And then some other woman walks up, and because you have families here, so they have various things with family events, and they also have daycare. They set up daycare for parents that want to go play golf or want to go do whatever. So she came up, she says, "Did you get the request we got for daycare for a 1 month old?" And she was telling her, "Yeah, we did, whatever, whatever." And I kind of, it's not my role to stick my nose in something, but I will. And I kind of giggled. I said, "A 1 month old?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Here's what I can tell you. That's not their first kid.
Yeah.
That's not their first kid. I promise you. That ain't new parents with their first kid saying,
No,
here,
they wouldn't have left the house.
here you go, stranger. Watch my 1 month old." I said, "That's probably their third, fourth, maybe fifth kid." At that point, parents are just like, "Man, they're almost unbreakable." Just
Yeah, no, that's what I mean, my daughter is, we have older kids, and when my now 16-year-old was born, I remember I told somebody one day, I said that, yeah, I went home yesterday. She was crawling, and then she started crawling up the stairs. And they said, "Well, your wife must have freaked out." I said, "No, she want to get to the video camera.
hey,
No
it's
freaking out involved, man."
you start relaxing. It's probably one of the reasons grandparents are so much better with babies because they've been through this before. But the thing I was started to talk about earlier about the podcast. So I'm when I tell you, so the lunch they're having right now, it's probably, I'm sure it's still going on. It's sponsored by whatever bank. A good spread, big, huge buffet, but it's a fun family luncheon. So it's big. They got really good food, but they also have a lot of chicken tenders and a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
whatever.
say, got some chicken, some burgers, maybe some hot dogs.
Dude, I'm talking about because you got kids out here from 1 month old to probably like early teens, and it's just really, but a long line because they didn't start feeding the family until the group let out. So you figure, I don't know, 300 people and with kids.
Yeah,
So
by the time we're done, you'll be, the line will be whittled down, be perfect time.
so I'm looking at my watch at the time you and I agreed to do the podcast today, and again it was lunchtime, and I wasn't going to go, but I'm hungry. I didn't eat today, so I was like, I need some. And I'm talking to some bank president. She's from an area president from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Very, very nice young lady. And we're talking, and I'm kind of looking at the line, and I just started, I said, well, looking at my watch, I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to head out. Now I didn't tell them what kind of podcast I was going to do. They all think I'm going to do some kind of because they know I do podcasts for work. So they're all probably thinking that I'm out there doing some work back. I don't have the nerve to tell them. No, me and this idiot friend I got, we've been doing this for 3 years. We just get together once a week and shoot the crap. So then they said, "Oh, Dave's got a podcast to do. Let's see." They pulled the president of the organization that's running this thing. Dave has to go do a podcast. You think you can get him in front of the line to go get some food? And I'm like, "No, hey, no, it's okay. No, Dave, no, we want you to get to the." So at this point, I can't stop and say, "Dude, the podcast I'm going to do is just me and a friend, but I am hungry, right?" So it was very nice of the president of the association here to march me in front of a bunch of families.
Nice.
To grab my chicken tenders and catfish but they were lovely families, and I knew all the people, and they were like, "Oh, hey," I was meeting their kids.
I got to tell you, I'm a little jealous. So my wife and daughter have been out of town since Wednesday. This is Sunday that we're doing this. So basically, without exaggeration, all I've eaten since Wednesday: Fruit Loops and milk, um, ice cream, and
Oh,
Doritos.
dude, you're like a child that was left alone.
I told him I
Seriously.
wanted the Fruit Loops. I hadn't eaten Fruit Loops in a long time, and Wednesday I was real excited to come home and eat me a big old bowl of Fruit Loops.
So hang on. I think we're missing a point here. Not only have you been eating breakfast cereal as your main meal for 3, 4, 5 days now,
Yeah,
but you requested them
I
to
did.
buy you.
Yeah, because Friday I went to the store. I could tell I was going to run out, so I went and bought another box.
Well, the great thing about living with you is going to be this someday, and I hope it's a long, long, long time in the future. You're not going to be able to take care of yourself, and they won't even notice. They're going to be like, we've been buying him Fruit Loops and ice cream to be by himself for
Yeah, it's
years
been
now.
great.
So, well,
But then I ran out of Diet Dr. Pepper yesterday, and uh and I had to work at church this morning, which meant I had to get there at 6:30, which was like 5:30 because the time changed.
oh man, we're all
Uh,
complaining about that.
and they were late opening the cafe because I needed a Diet Dr. Pepper. This is my third, though. I had one for each service.
Oh, yeah, that's classic. That's classic. Well, I'm glad you're making it. Look forward to your family coming home. I get to go home tomorrow. Fly home tomorrow. I forgot that this is a solid hour from the Mobile airport. Um,
I didn't even know
I
there
should
was
know
a
that.
Mobile airport.
It's okay. It's not massive, but it's hard to get there from here. I was in Charleston, South Carolina, on a Thursday night, and so I had to speak at something on Friday. And it's kind of funny in the time we're living in, right? Where okay, I'm not exact. I mean, I'm not in cutoff. I'm not trying to get a flight out
Right.
of cutoff, right? I'm in Charleston, which is not a, and it's by the way, I guess it's spring break and stuff. Oh my gosh, the flight's
Oh yeah.
packed. Okay. So I need to get from Charleston to Mobile. Now, granted, those are not major markets. I get it. But and my speech in the morning was kind of early. I mean, I was done by noon. You can't get there from here, bro. You cannot get any flights anywhere that'll get you, and you got to connect somewhere to. So I've been spending, I don't normally do this. I've been having days to sort of like, and I get real ambitious. I think like when I got a day, like, man, I got pretty much a day to kill in the hotel room, or I can go do whatever. And man, I got some writing I got to do. I got work I need to do. So all right, I'm going to take advantage of that. And you end up finding some crap on TV that you would never watch. You would never ever watch if you
Yeah.
didn't have right. If you didn't have something to do. But you get, well, now I'm going to watch a little bit of
I'm gonna
this. And
take a little break and watch this, and 17 hours later, it's
last night I ended up watching about the last hour of The Revenant. You know that I think it's called The Revenant, right? Was it Leonardo
yeah,
DiCaprio? I
yeah.
forgot that movie sucked. That movie sucked. That movie could have been edited down to like 30 minutes. They did that entire movie to give Leonardo DiCaprio the Oscar. That's all they did it for. They did it for the bear mauling scene, and they did it to show him going through pain the rest of the way. I got so tired of seeing his face, and I just dawned on me, like but yet I had work I was supposed to be doing, so I kind of got pulled into watching into watching that. But yeah,
I
it's
watched
good.
something the other night about in the 80s or in the 90s when some dude sued Pepsi because they had some point contest and
Oh yeah,
the Harrier jet deal.
I
So
remember.
where
Yeah,
the joke supposedly in the commercial, it was, for points, a certain amount of points, you could win a Harrier jet, and the guy figured out a way to get it.
man, got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. But yeah, Jets. I was spent a lot of time in the airport the last few days. There's nothing quite like, other people. I'm getting a little better at this, but I get stressed I hate making connections. Okay, man, if I can, I want to get on a plane. If it's running late, it's running late. But I know theoretically, unless it's, and I fly United all the time, and United has a tendency to drop some wheels, and they did that in Houston last week. They had a landing gear collapse once they landed. I mean, United's pulling some goofy stuff these days, but I like being on a plane, and whether it's late or not, I know when it lands somewhere, I ain't got another plane. I ain't got another plane to get on. Well,
the challenge for me is always, no matter how much time you have in between or to make that connection, it always feels like you have to rush.
Well, the people I hang around with, not so much. Me and my older son, that's how we're wired. Me and my older son are paranoid. We're always fretting about being on time. Other two folks in my family, not so much. But and they probably live a happier life, I mean. But I'm in Charleston. I got to wake up in the morning and get to the airport. I wasn't all that far from the airport. Fly from Charleston to Atlanta, and then I had a 1 hour, supposedly 1 hour and 10-minute layover in Atlanta. Now, those of you that are flowing into Atlanta, that ain't a lot of time to start off.
Right.
It's just freaking Atlanta. Okay. So I get up in the morning on Friday morning, and I guess I am getting better. I used to look at the weather all the time. I was always checking the weather. Dude, whatever blew through Louisiana and blew through Georgia, whatever, it hit Charleston that morning. My Uber driver was having to take the middle of some of the roads flooding. I mean, It was, and I heard somebody else at the airport talking about how they couldn't go certain places because, by the way, Charleston apparently, forget New Orleans being below sea level. Dude, Charleston floods like a son of a gun. So get to the airport, and that's when it starts. My flight's delayed leaving, not, whatever. Now I pull up my app to see, where the planes are or whatever. And it's always great to know that, okay, my 1 hour and 10 minute became 1 hour, layover became 50 minutes, became 45 minutes, became 40 minutes. And I'm looking at, they have the on time percentages. So I had to check, like, what's the on time percentage of the flight I was going to have to try to catch? 100%.
Of course.
It always leaves on time. Like in the history of, I was flying Delta, on the history of Delta, like, this is it. This is the one.
The only flight that's never been late.
Never. Literally 100%. This thing is on time. Mine wasn't. But fortunately, literally got there. If you've been in Atlanta, got to go down into the tunnel, get on the train, go whatever. Of course, you pop back up, and my gate is like D40. They were loading as I got there. They were loading, but I made it. I got, and then my wife would tell me, you see, you did all that worrying for nothing. You should. I'm like, I was on time because I was worried.
Exactly. If you wouldn't have been checking, you'd have been lollygagging and just,
Yep. Then I got to, it's funny too. And I'm glad I thought about it because I hadn't even rented a car here in Mobile ahead of time. I'd always thought I'm just going to take an Uber. And then it just dawned on me while I'm sitting in the airport in Charleston, let me double check how far the drive is. It's an hour, man. Hour 5. I'm like, what's a heck of an Uber drive? I said, it's just to be like me. I'm going to be in Mobile Airport trying to get some body to commit to driving. You know what I'm saying? That's a long.
Yeah.
So I rented. I've never done this before. Pull up Hertz. Let me see what the cheapest ones are, or whatever, and I get the manager special. You ever did that? You ever saw that? You can rent small SUV or small whatever. Then they always have one that's always the cheapest one, and it just has it's a cartoon of a car with like a blanket over it. The manager special.
So you don't know what it is.
You don't know what you're getting, bro. I sometimes they used to throw a Tesla in there every now and then because nobody rents Teslas. Nobody wants to get those things.
I heard Hertz got rid of all of them.
I think they are, right? But and then sometimes in the old days they'd stick you in. I've heard they'd put you in like a big vehicle because nobody wanted the big vehicles because they burn so much gas. But man, my manager special was I didn't even know these cars existed. A Nissan Kicks, Kicks.
Yeah,
you heard of those?
Baby. Yeah, that's like a baby SUV.
Here's what's fun. No, it's not even an SUV. Is it an SUV? Yeah, I guess it is an SUV. It's got
like
a
what we used to call a hatchback car back in the day.
It's a hatchback. And here's what's funny. So, and don't get me wrong, man. It's a car. It's got some safety stuff on it, although you got to be careful when you get used to driving some cars that have certain safety. Get them, you know. And I don't make fun of cars because I don't. But it's not the most expensive car in the world, right?
Right.
It's an entry
Right. It's
level.
probably the most economic or the most basic car that Nissan sells.
I had to take a picture of it. I mean, there was a dent on the front of the hood when you walk out to the car. It's got rust on it, so that dent's been there a while. It's been there a minute. Right? I've rented cars before, but I've never rented cars that the dents have rust. Okay,
Yeah,
so
they,
that's
they don't see a priority in fixing that one.
not so much, not so much. But which was funny was, so I pull into this place where I'm at, the Grand Hotel in Point Clear, Alabama. I don't know if we gated when you come kind of in. There's a security guard out there. You have to say if you're checking in, they got your name. Like if
All
you're
right.
not, have to let you in.
And
Of course,
mind me, so are you close to like Gulf Shores and everything?
I mean, I'm sure I'm not far. I should know, right? I have to pull up a map.
I'm just saying, because all the spring break stuff too, you probably got
Yeah.
added security.
So I'll pull up and, there's a wedding party. There were 2 weddings. How big this place is. There was 2 weddings here last night. They had a kick butt band. I don't know who was playing out there. I kind of contemplating, what do they dress like? Let me see. Do I have that kind of clothes in my bag? Let me go hang out at so-and-so's wedding. But I pull into this place, not kidding. And I'm driving, and parking's not that easy, but I'm driving in around here. Man, I got up right up close, not even very far from the circle where the valet picks you up, and there's a spot. So I pulled my Nissan Kicks into this spot. I'm not kidding you. About 15 feet from a Bentley.
Nice. I bet the Bentley didn't have any rust on it though.
Man, I mean, like, hey, don't you open that door into my car here, man. Felt like Eddie Murphy in that movie, right? Hey, man, you'll be careful with this. All this stuff happened last time I left it with y'all. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Up this morning, out and about, going to a dinner this evening and try to behave myself.
Well, I'm interested. You sent a picture this morning of the guy who I guess spoke today as well.
Yeah, what's his name? Josh Sneed.
I don't know
think
his name. I just call him
Josh
the SEC
Sneed.
shorts guy.
Here's what's funny. So I was by the time I was talking up front, before anybody came in, they were probably at breakfast or something. And in this big room, I'm up near the stage, and I'm talking to the lady when they talked about the 1-month-old daycare, and I look up on the screen, and I guess they were practicing some stuff. And I recognized that's the SEC. I didn't even remember it was SEC shorts, but I remember, it pops up on my feed all the time. And these guys are good. Yeah. They're funny. And I'm like, I said, what's that? And they go, yeah, they're coming on after you. And I looked over, and he was back there. And so I went to chat with him. His name is Josh Sneed. Yeah, it's funny. Little man, he's about 5.
Yeah, he's short.
About 5'5". Yeah, but to say he lives up to the name. Funny though, you can just tell some of these guys are just funny. It's in a well-written, very.
What's odd when that first started, a guy that I know, I think he's in North Carolina now, but he was president of a credit union here, and they got that dude to do some commercials for them. Not as he was just he's an actor, but so he was in the spots, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at that dude from the SEC stuff." So see, he's got a banking background.
He actually became an actor. It's not what he was. He was, although he was. I take it back. They tell the story when they got up there, but because he has a partner, didn't know his partner, but I guess his partner showed up in some stuff too. But him and this other guy, they were working at a. And the other guy's from UNO. He graduated UNO like in film arts or something. And they were working at some place doing not documentary, but something with medical films. They would and they had fun. So, but yeah, really funny. Yeah, okay, presentation. It's like he's smart, man, because he's funny. Their videos are very funny. And guess who runs banks, especially in the Southeast, man? SEC football. Mm-hmm. So yeah, got bank sponsorships and stuff. So man, rock and roll. Guys are smart. So that's but it's kind of funny. So I took a picture and hung out a little bit, made him laugh. We talked Ed Orgeron a little bit. I did told him how to do the Ed Orgeron impersonation. Cookie Monster and Waterboy. put them together, but it was all good. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's funny too, getting up there. And I said it's a young banker group, but young bankers relative term, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not. There were some college age people there that might have been like interns and stuff, but then a
Hmm.
lot of folks in their 20s and lower 30s, and and then most of these folks are vice presidents of various things in there, and they all get their family with them. And I joke with them about it's funny. He said, you're probably feeling this, right? It's so much fun. It's so cool when you get to bring your family to one of these events. And man, you can't wait. And it's like the kids are going to love this. And they got a nice pool and they got all these things set up. And then you realize we all sharing a room.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's so funny how you can take the people you love the most in the world and you got to get out of that room
That's what
because,
I was saying. You laugh at me with the Airbnb and stuff, but there's a commercial now that I've seen where it's when you're in a hotel room, you know, the kids' time is your bedtime.
yeah,
When you're in Airbnb,
it's good.
everybody's got their own
It's
bedtime.
good marketing. Good marketing. Yeah, I made him laugh. I said, here's a pro tip, guys. Because when you first start moving in, we start spending time with your family, young family. You spend time in a room and you start looking at that door. You know that door that connects to another room, and you start daydreaming. Man, one day I want to I
I'll
want
get
to be
both
able
of
to
them.
afford to send all these people to that other room while and I joked later after. I said, yeah, I said, there came a point in our life, years ago when my boys they probably weren't quite men, but they were big, where I tell my wife, hey, we can go anywhere, but you don't book us anywhere expensive because we got to get 2 rooms. So I'm not saying we need to stay in a Motel 6. Not crapping on Motel 6, by the way, but wherever we're going, it's times 2 because it ain't a vacation when you're sharing a bathroom.
No,
What
man.
it what
And I think I've mentioned this before, the times that my wife has messed up and, obviously she's the one booking it, so I blame it on her. You end up with like two full size beds instead of like a queen or a king. I make her sleep in any other bed. I said, "Oh, that bed's too small, man. I'm not sleeping in there with anybody else."
just bring my Fruit Loops and keep me happy.
That's right. That's right. Fruit Loops and marshmallows, man.
Oh, geez. It was funny too here, and I took a picture. I'll show it later. Um, the so from my room, while I'm looking out here, I got a little bit of a yard in front of me. So it's like 2 little rocking chairs right here, and it's not a balcony. I guess it'd be a balcony if I was on the second floor. I'm on the first floor, so technically, I guess it's a patio. I got some grass, nice little yard, and then some swings and stuff, and then there's the bay, but then there's a nice wharf that goes out good distance, and then I don't know what the technical term is. It's a covered area. It's a Shaw's. You go down,
A
you go
pavilion.
a Shaw's pavilion, same thing. There's a pavilion right there. So it's before dark last night. I'm here. Let me walk around a little bit, and I walk down there. Dude, you know what this place has? You get down there, they have some cane poles they're already pre-hooked with a cork, and there's a nice chest of bait shrimp. You can
Nice.
catfish. You can catfish right there. Now they even have a sign that tells people about catfish and warning you about the stickers on a
Yeah.
catfish and stuff because And I thought I texted some friends saying, "Man, forget golf. This is luxury. This is luxury living right here, dude. You just head over down. You think they set you up to do some catfishing right here at the hotel?" I said, "Of course, most of my friends and extended family, they would throw us out of here, man. We'd have lines out there.
Hey, that's right. You threw 3 or 4 poles out there per person.
They'd have milk jugs floating in the bay.
Yeah,
We're gonna
a
go check.
tire.
We're gonna go check our catfish lines. What y'all want to eat? We might not eat whatever we catch." You could get a call. A stupid hotel manager would get a call. "We got some Cajuns cleaning fish at the end of the at the end of the wharf." Hey, but it's nice.
Well, talking about Cajuns, a couple of months ago we plugged the Weenie Spaghetti Festival, which became a
Hmm.
big success.
Thanks to us. Yeah.
Thanks in part to us. It is scheduled. I've been seeing the ads for it. But I did see something yesterday on social media. I got to pull it up. The Cajun Wizard of Oz.
I'm
brought to
sorry.
you by the Napoleonville Middle School Drama Club. So there you go, man. You
So,
ever been to a middle school play? They generally are terrible. The Napoleonville Middle School play, yeah, not gonna pass judgment.
now, The Wizard of Oz.
The Cajun Wizard of Oz, Friday,
Oh,
March 22nd. Doors open at 5:30. The show starts at 6. Um, but for the students who wear Napoleonville Middle School spirit shirts, they get in free. $5 for everybody else.
is it a BYOB? I'm guessing. Just
I don't know. That's BYOG probably. Bring your own gun.
Oh, come on now, man. You should check that out, Juan. Go support
I'm
the
busy that day.
yeah.
Napoleonville Middle School.
Well, good luck with that Napoleonville Middle School. I'd like to know what their take on the
Yeah.
on what makes it a Cajun Wizard of Oz.
I'm gonna guess Dorothy's probably wearing white rubber boots as opposed to ruby slippers.
Oh
Mad
yeah,
Dorothy.
and they don't have flying monkeys. They got rougarous.
Yeah. They went down
That's a
the
free
Yellow
idea,
Brick Bayou.
That's a free idea, by the way, Napoleon Middle School. If y'all still fleshing this thing out, make it the flying rougarous. What's I pulling up here? I taking a picture of some. Oh, did you see this? I say I'm looking at the water here. Somebody who put this on here. Somebody put it on Facebook. A meteorologist for some reason is showing this. They got a big old white shark apparently making its way all over.
Yeah, from like I guess like
Is it called
around
Lebeth?
Mexico or something, but up like
L-E.
towards Texas and
This one says
yeah,
it was seen off the coast of Galveston.
yeah.
Which is not far. I mean, that's my neck of the woods. Um, it's a 2,600-pound shark.
And what do they have a tag on it or something?
They must. Makes you wonder, like, how'd y'all tag that thing? But that's they got an Apple AirPod on it.
Yeah, he ate it. Somebody dropped that phone.
Kept on it worked out. They swallowed it, and we've been pinging that couillon the whole time. He shows up, See,
I'd watch that. It's like I would literally probably spend time watching the travel of the thing. I don't know how fast a shark swims.
I mean, faster than you. So I don't know. I don't or how, like, if something's that big, does it even bother with eating like little fish? Like, what's it looking to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much
Yeah,
of
does
it
it just I don't know. Does it just open its no, that's a whale, I think, will just open its mouth and
I always had a little issue with Jaws. It didn't make like it didn't make marine biology sense to me that, wait a minute, this animal that's never really evolved, it's a killing machine, but now it's just sort of developed a taste for humans. Is that how this works? I mean, right? Like, all right,
it's smart.
Is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was avoiding stuff and
The one in the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite was by the time they got to like Jaws 3, where it was revenge.
Jaws 3 was 3D.
Dennis Quaid, right? Wasn't Dennis Quaid in that?
Yeah, I think so.
That bad boy.
Back when they had like Friday the 13th was 3D. Like I think Friday the 13th 3 was 3D. And the guy squished somebody's head and so hard that the eyeball popped out and came at you, freaked you out.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but I don't think I need to now. I think you.
Nah, you got it. It's not much different than 1 and 2.
I think you captured that. So I was having a conversation. I jotted this down because it struck me. We talk about NIL, college football, and how messed up it is now. So one of my friends, I hadn't seen him in forever. Good guy. He is a alumni of Clemson. In fact, he lives in Clemson.
As is my wife.
Okay. And he's really connected. He's connected to, he knows the coaches, he knows a lot of the assistant coaches and stuff. And he was just sharing whatever amount of money you think they're paying college football players, I guess basketball as well, but whatever you think it is, you're underestimating what these folks are getting paid.
Yeah, even especially like in I know WNBA doesn't pay much, but so you got a couple of girls for LSU, your favorite Bayou Barbie. But Caitlin Clark as well is making far more money now
Oh,
than they'll
she
make it in
Okay,
WNBA.
don't take this. Okay, and here's where LSU people can get all as mad as you want to get mad. Okay, and I don't dislike Bayou Barbie, whatever. I just think, I have an issue sometimes with the imagery, or the not the imagery,
Hmm.
the attitude.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
but it's hard to blame people. I mean, they're kids. They're 20, they're 20, 21-year-old kids with so much attention and so much money. Give me a break. Okay. But I watched, I was actually, while I was trying to avoid doing the work I'm supposed to do, I was scanning, and I watched me a lot of women's basketball last night. I watched LSU against
Yeah. Yeah.
what was it,
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss, and some others, and that's true. They play
They
LSU.
on
Well, look,
now. Yeah.
LSU South Carolina's on right now. In fact, it's 6-4 right now. I'm gonna catch the second half of that after a while. But they was talking about Angel Reese, would she come back, whatever. Well, first of all, I don't know if she has an agent. I don't know if she has people that talk to her. She's a fool if she leaves LSU.
Yeah.
She just she hang on. I got to turn it off because Siri just started telling me about the
Uh,
LSU score last night. Um, because, and again, don't get offended, LSU. When she goes to the league, she disappears. She does.
they all. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, forget endorsements and whatever. They LSU playing, she's a national champion and playing at LSU. And if she comes back, she's going to make more money at LSU next year than she will make in 5 years in the WNBA. She just
Right.
will.
Right. And she'll get lost not just because of her. She'll get lost because of the WNBA.
Is good.
I mean,
Now,
who
now
could
Caitlin
see
Clark.
us?
Now,
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark is going. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Nobody watches those games. Nobody cares. Like the same people. I'll sit here and I'll watch LSU against South Carolina right now, dude. If it was the WNBA championship, couldn't tell you who was in it to start off
Right.
with, and not watching it just because it's historically just not been where you get star power. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they got
My
other people
son used
coming.
to tell a joke years ago. He said, what would make you more upset? If your favorite or your local WNBA team moved, or if you lost a nickel.
That's a brutal joke, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Bill Burr, the comedian, has fun. He has this whole thing out there screaming at
Oh yeah.
screaming
Don't
at
blame
women.
us.
Say, don't blame me. Y'all not watching that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't blame me. Why don't they make as much as whatever? Yeah, you're in a 20,000 like soccer, right? You're in a 20,000 seat stadium. There's like 4,000 people here. The
Yeah.
promoter lost his butt, But so yeah, that's the thing. I had money wise, dude. I'm talking linemen who you wouldn't know the name of them, right? But they're starters and that kind of stuff. These kids are making $300,000 a year. People that you don't know. So the ones because that's the thing about college football, especially SEC, and then some of the bigger schools else. What it does, what NIL is letting some of these people do with money, they get to pretend they're like a general manager or the owner of a team.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just buying stuff. And it's broken. It's terrible. I'm telling you, college football is over. College football within the next 10 years, because I don't think they're going to fix it. I don't think they have the brains to fix it.
Well, who is?
I
I think
want
it's
to.
Herb Street that suggested they break off, or like the major conferences break off and do their own thing separate from NCAA, and then they'd have all the money. And
Because it's not exactly, you're not cheering for, and again, we've talked about this. This is why women's college basketball right now is so much more fun to watch, and more people they will literally pull better ratings than most men college
oh
basketball.
yeah, because last night when the LSU game was over, men were playing. The LSU men were playing. I didn't like.
No,
I just turned the
but
TV off.
because they all leave and they all do whatever. By the way,
Right, they're one and done.
shout out to the University of Houston. Number one, as of right now, we do this number one team in the country. Your daughter is attending there.
Right, and my wife has become. Yeah, I'm not. Look, my son went to Alabama. I was never the obligatory. I got to pull
Mhm.
for Alabama. I wanted them to win because of his experience. But now my wife will sit here and watch, University of Houston
You better
basketball.
believe it. You better believe it. Go Cougs. Go Cougs. You got to learn I forget
Yeah,
what
yeah, it's the three toe thing or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, because they had a cougar. Yeah, they had a cougar missing
with
a
a
toe.
missing toe or something.
I forget. I used to know that when my son was there. He's at Nichols right now. What's the colonel? Middle finger? I don't know. What's the colonel?
It's not the Russian looking guy anymore.
No, the colonel. In our day, the colonel would have been just one of these. Hey, you want a drink?
Yeah,
Hey,
chug it.
yeah, just chug that, bro. Do that. That's our thing. But anyway, so that's I was stunned when he told me that. Oh, by the way, it shouldn't surprise anybody. But so one of his people, they're basically complaining about Florida State. Florida State's already cheating. Like Florida State apparently finds a way, even in the wild, wild west, even now in a market that like there's almost no rules. Florida State finds a way to break them, right? Like you just gotta love, right? You gotta love that. They're all about it, man.
Yeah, I saw LSU got called last night twice for walking. I'm saying, Jesus, what did they do? Just like run from half court to the foul line.
Didn't think they called that anymore. Well, I kind of jotted this down too. Now I don't know. I mean, I do not watch, and when I say that, I'm not kidding. I don't watch much NBA at all. But
I watch none.
Okay, right. But when it happens when I'm traveling, TV now is so freaking terrible.
There's nothing. And when you have
nothing.
YouTube TV, you'll put YouTube TV on, and there's it's like the 4 games up at once with basketball.
There's nothing, man. So sometimes I'm like, and I'll put the NBA on for a little bit. I had it on the other night, and if it's late in the game, because early in the game, NBA is so rigged, it's not even. I mean, it's beyond joke how rigged it is. Nobody gets to blow anybody else out anymore. They just know that they got to keep it close because of gambling, and that's the thing, dude. So help me, gambling now. Man, that guy Tim Donahue, whatever, the guy, the referee that eventually confessed he got caught. The referee that was rigging games for the NBA went to prison. Man, that stuff's still going on. It's so annoying. And I'm so sick and tired, and I guess that's ESPN especially because advertising dollars have gone away. So they're basically none of these people have any soul. So now I used to be like, oh, gambling bad. Now it's all
that's all
gambling.
they run.
All they freaking run. The sportscasters
they've got gambling shows.
Yes,
on ESPN.
And but look, I'm even going to say, I listen to every now and then to Clay and Buck. They took like Rush Limbaugh's place.
Oh yeah.
Clay and Buck are doing that. Every time they do it, I say, screw you guys. I mean, I've turned them off sometimes.
Right, because whatever one's without kick, during the NFL playoffs, he'd give you locks and everything.
Then it's just the hypocrisy of it all. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Now it used to be, God, man, gambling is a bad influence and it's so bad and it's this and that and it can't be. But all of a sudden, when the money's drying up for advertising and everything, plus you guys, nobody wants to watch your TV shows anymore. So, now we're just going to be all married to gambling and push that day and night. But we haven't commented at all on something that happened since we last did a podcast. I want to check my time here. All right. I can't believe we're 45 minutes into a podcast. The State of the Union is tired.
Oh man!
Actually, the State of the Union, if we're going by our president, is meth head up. It is amphetamines, man.
So I literally tried to watch it. I said, okay, I'm going to watch it. I couldn't make myself do it. And I turned it on every now and then with the sound off.
Mm-hmm. Best way to watch it.
It just looked like an angry old man scolding somebody, like the whole "get off my lawn" type deal.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm not. Whatever.
Well, I posted Thursday morning. You may have saw that. I posted that everybody wants to judge the speaker. Right. The president he didn't write that speech. He had zero to do with that speech.
He barely read
it. His only role is delivering the speech. So all you can say about him is if he read it good or if he didn't.
Well, look, and it's established. Okay, I don't care what side of the political spectrum.
And that's the whole thing. It's both sides.
Okay, but it's established with this guy. He calls a lid early. In other words, folks, the quote unquote supposedly the most powerful person in the world, the guy who is the president of our country, he stops working at 11 in the morning or
Right.
noon. Okay, before the State of the Union, most presidents are meeting and greeting, doing all the photo ops the days leading up to it. They literally had him no public, no nothing appearances for 2 days.
For days.
Because they had to, and I'm sorry, I believe this. I heard somebody make the comment, and I'm like, that makes sense. They had to figure out we got to keep him up. We got to change his patterns because we need him.
Because he's used to, he's never
doing
anything at 8 o'clock at night.
Or are we going to keep this guy not just awake at 9 o'clock at night, but being able to read a teleprompter? And you got to do that. And then Lord only knows what they're giving him. And I'm not going to say
he had to be Red Bulled up or something.
Man,
he talked. I mean, literally, it was almost too fast.
100% was too fast, and it's being read.
Just looked wired. But I read that he had actors that coached him.
That's a lie.
But they said he even practiced, or they anticipated the heckles. And so some of the responses to the hecklers were
rehearsed. So program. Yeah, you can't. There's nothing going to be spontaneous coming out of them.
Right. This is how you know there was nothing legit about it. And again, it's everybody. The fact that he called the guy who allegedly killed the girl in Georgia, he referred to him as an illegal.
Well, that wasn't alleged, but that dude is.
No. The guy who's
right.
So, which he went off script, called him an illegal, and then said it again. Then the next day, apologized for doing
to the murderer.
Right. So again, the only thing he says that's off script, he comes apologize for.
And not apologizing for mispronouncing the poor young lady.
Right. Forget that he misnamed the girl.
Well, that was off because what's her name? Margaret Taylor Greene, MTG.
Right.
Well, I give credit to, man. Look, whether you like her or don't like her, you can't look at whatever the squad. They're all wearing white. I don't know what that's about. I've seen some funny. Yeah, I've seen some funny stuff saying, hey, the last time a bunch of Democrats got dressed up in white, it was rough. That's a KKK reference, by the way, folks. Those of you that went. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, look at history. Look at history. It wasn't a bunch of it wasn't a bunch of Nixon
Republicans
GOP
out there doing it. Yeah,
that's right. I'm just saying, you can say whatever happened since then, but that was the but so whatever, man. And I'm just and then every time he said something, they did, I forget how many standing ovations, and it was obvious that what their plan was is every time he says something remotely you can cheer like crazy to give him a break and let him figure out make it sound like, whoo, doggy, we are just knocking it out the park here. And of course, the best way to start any state, these are the United States of America. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, the first words out of my mouth are going to be about Ukraine. Okay, that's wonderful. And again, whatever, maybe that was the way to go. The thing that got me was it was supposed to start at 9. He was like 20 minutes late getting there. Okay. And then once he entered the room, took 10 flipping minutes.
Well, that's because, again, it was well into it when I first flipped it. I kept saying, how long is this thing going to go?
But let's be fair. Now, we have two different opinions on this. I know you initially had a different opinion on this. Took me about 60 seconds for the counter, whatever, the senator from Alabama. And I'm in Alabama right now. I'm in her home state. The 41 or 42-year-old, what's her name?
Yeah.
I can't remember it now. I'm sorry, Juan. I know you liked her. That was a train wreck. Train wreck.
I looked at it as she's trying to talk to moms. But again, I still go back to the whole thing. The performance is all you judge.
Right.
And I even heard Megyn Kelly say it looked like she was auditioning for a Lifetime movie role.
Oh my gosh. I saw some great comments about who is this drama student? Like who is, and that was the point. I don't know if you took the script itself, maybe the script made sense. But what annoys the heck out of me is how, but you know what? Maybe they know more than we do. How dumbed down everything is. How they're always talking to children. Yeah. And the fake emotions and the fake crying and the and we're doing this in the kitchen, and that could go both ways, right? So she's doing it in the kitchen, which, by the way, is an amazing kitchen. I saw that after. I want to say they said she lives in it's like a 6,000, 7,000 square foot house with I got news for you guys. Oh, she's a mom, she's this, she's that. Let me tell you something. You a 41, 42-year-old senator, you're a knife fighter. She is as shrewd and get down and fight as anybody else, and likely from money or married to somebody. Yeah. Okay, so that's
I
just
guess
going to
part of
be.
me is I still remember when the former governor of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal.
Oh, Bobby Jindal was happy as all get out. Wherever
Delivered.
Bobby Jindal was, he was watching that and saying, "Ha ha! Told you that's not easy. Don't." But yeah, so she, I mean, look, this is not. I always know I'm going to say something kind of mean when I start off by saying I don't mean to be mean, and I'm not going to give their names. I wouldn't have done it anyway. That's the other thing. She gave her children's names.
Oh, I didn't pay that. I watched
She
3
listed them when
minutes
she
of the
started
whole
off,
thing.
and I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, you are literally in the position you're in right now. That's not like somebody can't go look for it and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But look, man, you are a quote unquote addressing the nation and what's left at it watching this thing against people who want to do nothing but destroy you. I wouldn't be giving my kids names. But my point is, her kids' names were like, there was almost comical of like, imagine what kind of names rich yuppies came up with for their kids. And again, these kids are going to have wonderful lives. They probably come from wealth. They got powerful parents. But boy, they're named for it. I mean, as soon as she said the names, I went, oh, this is country club. This is country club right here. She didn't come out and say, my son, T. Bubba Fred, and my daughter, Mary Kate Pat. No, it was like,
I did know that. I did hear a clip where I thought it was kind of, the bless his heart, y'all.
yeah. She doesn't say bless his heart. That's not.
No, and she don't say y'all, I'm sure.
I'm sure she doesn't. That's right.
Now I typically don't watch a lot of the stuff. That's either the Tuesday night I was flipping through the channels after Super Tuesday, and Trump was talking. And I don't look, man, love Trump, hate Trump, whatever. I can't imagine how you don't think this guy is hilarious. Um, his speech was where he talked about Biden. He said likes to go down to the beach. When he gets up to leave, his feet get stuck in the sand. Tries to pick up his chair, but he can't. It's too heavy. I think it weighs 9 ounces.
Yeah. He is something. Yeah. Sometimes he's funny on purpose. Sometimes it's ironically. But I'm gonna tell you, and I had this conversation with somebody, I guess in Charleston, one of the people I was, because it was a State of the Union. That was the thing. I watched the State of the Union while I was in Charleston. And why, in my opinion, the Trump resonates is he talks blunt. It's like he ain't talking down to anybody.
No,
he's talking to you like, you just hanging, you leaning up on a bar somewhere, or you're in the checkout lane at Walmart, and he's look at this.
Well, I remember Dennis Miller said something years ago where he said, Trump's inner voice and his outer voice are the same. And he said, about right. Hillary Clinton's inner voice has never met her outer voice. That's good point. And that, it's like you're having a beer with a guy just shooting the breeze. But even he's not, when he's on script, he doesn't sound, it's not nearly as good.
No, but that's why he always jumps off. You can always tell when he does. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His tone, his temperament.
My favorite is when he repeats the same thing. Just like, because he liked it. He said it and he liked the way it sounded. So
that's the comedian. I forgot his name. That was on Saturday Night Live last week.
Shane Gillis.
He talks about how easy it is to do Trump. He said because Trump just says the same thing and then he'll say it again.
What a pig!
Yeah.
what a pig! No, really, what a pig!
Yeah,
what
dirty pig. He's a dirty pig.
So the other thing, a mental note I made, getting ready to watch the State of the Union, and it really is to me one of the most depressing things every year. is leading up to the State of the Union, and they show the senators and representatives and whatever pouring into the room and mulling about, and you realize, dear Lord, these people, these freaking invalids, criminals, communists, whatever, these people are setting. But then you also realize why all the agencies and the quote, and man, I'm sorry, shove it. If you don't believe in deep state, call it what you want. Let's call it permanent Washington. Let's call it whatever the administration, whatever the administrative stuff is, right? All these agencies and all these big, powerful, they don't change, right, as often. And a lot of these folks, doesn't matter which administration's in, they're always there. The reason why so many things happens is because Congress is a joke. It's a freaking, they can't do anything. They can't vote on anything. They're running up an extra $1 trillion every 100 days right now in spending. And some of you out there thinking, well, it don't matter to me. I'm just a poor, whatever. Every time they do that, whatever dollar bill you got in your wallet
Right.
is worth
If
less.
you're one that's upset by, President Biden's little illustration of the potato chip bag, that's nothing.
Yeah, that's so, But my thing about the potato chip bag is this, but here's what's sad. He's selling idiocy to some idiots that they don't understand what you're saying. Like, dude, the shrinkflation stuff, it's not the manufacturers. Manufacturers, if they did, if you guys wouldn't have made everything so dang expensive, you'd still be getting a big old bag.
It's the exact same thing. Look, it's like saying 6 plus 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, but 3 plus 6 is 9. It's the same thing. It's just two different ways of doing it. So inflation is basically your dollar is less powerful, which means you can buy less with the same amount of money. Well, most people look at that, oh gosh, what I used to buy for $20 now costs 25. Well, you just spin the equation the other way, and it's like, oh well, I used to get 7 ounces of potato chips in this bag for $1.50. Now I only get 6.50. So your dollar buys less.
So basically, whether you are a multi-millionaire listening to this, or you are as broke can be, everything they're doing is screwing all of you. Us included. And look, and here's the deal. I pox on all their houses because look, both sides. I mean, I got all excited. Our little deep voice, Boy Scout Speaker of the House. What's his face from Louisiana?
Johnson.
Man.
Lasted about a minute.
Somebody brought a church usher to a knife fight. That's what ended up happening. This guy, I mean, God bless him. Maybe I'm sure he's a wonderful man. Sure he's a wonderful family. But these days, I'm trying to think of who's in the house right now that's a fighter. It's nobody
anymore.
Well, when I'm elected, I'll get it all. I got so much other stuff. I got so much other stuff I got to fix before I start running for office, but that's gonna have to happen. Y'all vote for me when I do that, y'all. Don't leave me hanging.
I did before we wrap. I talked this little guy that he volunteered at church. He's 22. I've mentioned him before. He's an immigrant. And so I was talking to him the other night. I said, so where'd you come from again? And he said, Venezuela. I said, well, how'd you get here? And he said, oh, we have family in Miami. And so they came to Miami and stuff. I said, well, what'd you have to do to get here? And again, English is his second language. And he said, oh, we declared amnesty. And when you're being persecuted, right? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I said, well, how bad is it in Venezuela? And I know Venezuela's bad, don't get me wrong. But he says, not that bad. No. I said, well, all right. Then I said, well, can you vote in elections here? And he said, not yet. I said, well, let me tell you something. Whenever you can, come talk to me. So I'll tell you who to vote.
Please do. Hey, at least it's not Haiti. Haiti has cannibal gangs taking over now. We'll talk about that next week. Let it play out there, man. Yeah. So apparently people in the gangs are now running Haiti. And I thought the Clinton initiative had that all figured out. They took in hundreds of millions of dollars. I just thought they had Haiti all fixed.
Certainly they'd have to have straightened it out for that.
Apparently not. All righty. Hey, everybody. That time the buffet has been laid before you. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if this magically stuck to the digital tape in the sky.
Hope it's not raining.
Hope it's not raining. Hey, man, you want to reach us? We ain't hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com and the veritable
right here.
Yeah, you hear. Wherever you listening, wherever you watching, bookmark that. Bookmark that. We're going to be back doing it again next week, unless one of us gets a better gig to do it. Then we're just, no, we will be back. We will be back. So help me. So help me. Hey, y'all, we tell you every week, not a suggestion, not a hint, not a subtle implication. It's
a freaking
mandate. It's a freaking mandate. Get out there and live your best life. I kind of told that to the group this morning. I didn't tell them it was a freaking mandate. But I told them, you got to get out there. Live your life.
You're in Alabama with your family. What else can there be?
Live your life. Take this with you, y'all. Be humble, be fair, be grateful. Be humble, be fair, be grateful. All right. When you're having a fantastic day, be humble. When you're having a crap day, be grateful. Let that balance out there. Okay. Just saying. We got 1,000 of them.
That's pretty deep, man. That's pretty deep.
That's me, Juan. I go deep. I go deep. It's like that old Dennis Miller thing. You say something that everybody gets. You say the next thing that most people get, and you go to that third level where only like a handful of people go, oh, I know what you're doing now. Anyway, y'all, get out there, live your best life, and let's get back together next week, and we'll compare notes, and we'll see how everything went. Until then, I'm going to see. I really need to do work, but man, they got a catfish line. I'm in a suit. Well, I got my jacket off, but I might just walk down to the end of that wharf. And
I thought shrimp's cleaner than worms. So
I made the mistake. I opened the ice chest yesterday to see, like, dang, it is full of like frozen shrimp in there. Bro, my hand stunk the shrimp. I said, it's just like me. I'm walking around here with a blazer all dressed up and a hand smelling like freaking shrimp. But hey,
yeah.
And I made sure to try to think of, because it'd be just like me. I'd go meet somebody, shake some bank president's hand. He'd walk away. He's on, golly, you can't even hire a Cajun. They don't make you smell like shrimp around here. Oh, man.
That was some toothpaste.
Gotta get out of here. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So Friday afternoon, I got a text from somebody who was at Nichols when we were there. She was older. Back then, she probably figured, I think I thought she was like mid 40s or 50s. She's probably like, late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen her in 40 years. I see her on Facebook every now and then. I don't know how she had my cell number. I guess we've texted at some point since I had a cell phone. But I get a text, hey, it's so-and-so. Here, let me call that sucker up real quick.
You went from, I kind of know this person, to, well, she got my number.
Yeah, well, but hey, this is so-and-so. I'd love to have a conversation with you one day, not on Facebook. I thought that was weird because she's very liberal, I think. So I waited a while because I didn't want to act like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, you got to wait. Yeah.
And said, hey, girl, great to hear from you. I'd love to catch up and chat. Happy to do it in person or on the phone. No, I want to see your eyes. Sometimes I can't tell if you're kidding or serious on Facebook. And I said, well, yeah.
Been nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Been nice knowing you.
Yeah. There you go. I got an hour, 5 minutes every week that you can go see my eyes.
Hey.
Yeah. Got 150 hours if you want to check it out.
And you may have gotten mentioned on this episode.
It's over. Go home.